Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here, Wisdom in Golf at the gorgeous Royal Quebec Golf Club, and today, boy oh boy, we're talking about kinetic chain and how to properly engage that kinematic sequence of yours. And guess what? You're already wired and built for all of it. And I'm going to show you a couple of really easy things that are going to get you to engage it properly and engage it all the way through the ball and into your picture. So important. So let's say we're skipping stones on water. So I want to skip a stone on the pond in that direction. I'm holding it in my fingers. Notice how that's nicely hooked in my finger here. And then I'm going to, let me just throw a couple out there for you. So when I asked my students what went first, and they really can't answer that. I ask, okay, so where did you let go of the stone? And then finally they'll end up saying, okay, right about here. And I said, okay, where are you facing? Facing the pond. Where's your weight? Front foot. When did it get there? Most don't answer this properly. They say, well, about when I'm letting go. And in actuality, it's the first thing that occurs, because your brain's got to go to the ground and use the ground to get your body out of the way. Why? Because your shoulders only have 20 degrees of range. If you don't move your body out of the way, that's all you're going to do is hit yourself. Your arm has no way around your body. You only have 20 degrees of shoulders. Your clavicle and your scapula are sitting on top of the rib cage, and this is all they got. So if you don't move out of the way, you're just going to get a peck full of bicep and bruise yourself on the other side. So the brain's got to go get the ground, use the ground to get your body out of the way so you have access. Same thing when we're playing baseball. So if I want to take my baseball bat and I want to send the ball out there and I've got a ball coming at me, let's say I want to take it over that red post. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is the brain's going to go get the ground. Use the ground to get my body out of the way so I can release in the direction of that red post, so that kinetic chain engages when I'm stepping. And it's the same thing. Yeah, I know it's a foul ball, but you get my idea. It's the same thing when I'm throwing a club. So you'll see throwing the club, Shawn Clement. Throw the club straight, Shawn Clement. So if I'm taking this golf club, I want to throw it golf style. And make sure you see that video first before you go out and throw clubs, because it's it can be very dangerous. You got to be in a safe area. So the brain's got to go get the ground, use the ground to get my body out of the way so I have access to throwing the club in that direction. So it's going to look like that. I'm throwing the club over there. So that kinetic chain, regardless of what you do, if you had a sword in your hands, you have a bamboo shoot, you want to cut through. Everybody does this correctly. Nobody fails this. Nobody would ever do that with a sword. You always slash through something with the sword. You always slash through something with the grass whip. So one of the things that you'll see us talk about later is Cameron Champ's head position. Well, when I'm skipping stones in that direction, I got to tilt my head so that when I step into it, I can release the stone over that pond. If I tilt my head this way, I'm throwing the stone straight into the beach. I don't even have access to the pond. So it's the same thing in the golf swing. You'll notice in the downswing, that head position is in a way that allows him to go toward the target. Well, the reason why it accommodates that is because he's focused on delivering to the target. And he's got the deepest lag on tour. Before, Dustin Johnson was pretty much the deepest lag. Sergio would have a very deep lag on the downswing, but when it came to the delivery, he didn't hold it as long as Dustin Johnson did. And nobody holds it as much as Cameron Champ. And so you'll notice that Cameron going that way, there's a huge use of those hips. And as the body is to the ground, delivering, clearing, so he has complete access to the target over there, that's what basically pulls the hands, beyond the ball, and then the G-forces of the swing and the support that he has allows that club to deliver through the shot. So all we have to do is focus on throwing the club in that direction. So I go, nice takeaway, so gather nice and smooth, and then throw the club in the direction I want that ball to go. So that felt extremely solid. I'm going to go back to my intermediate point, check. Gather, gather, throw. So a nice throw in the direction I want that ball to go, and that's where the ball is ending up. So the brain goes to the ground, uses the ground to get the body out of the way, so I have access to throwing over there. For those of you who stall with your hips at impact, all you're doing is just simply defaulting to the ball. So if the ball's your target and you're throwing at the ball, well, there you go. You don't have to shift weight here to clear your hips all the way out there when that's your target, because then you'd be going, whoop, hang on. That would make it even more difficult for you to go after the ball, wouldn't it? So if you're going after the ball, you have to stall out. If you stall out, your arms collide into your rib cage. The right arm can't have access there. So since the right arm can't have access over there, you're going to get a gorgeous chicken wing. You're going to lose all your lag. And then you're going to complain about how you look and how do I get rid of that. And we're going to talk to you about the correct positions until we're blue in the face, and it still won't work until your focus goes out there.